Welcome to Rom Wills, Money Matters. Business success takes work. You know what? I'm going to tell you what, regardless of what business that you get into, whatever you do, just understand one thing. You got to have the right mindset. And you got to understand with that mindset, it has to be one that you're going to have to work. Like, to me, it's still funny when I see, either videos or clips or something on IG and from businesses, and you'll have somebody, hey, you can make $4,000 this month, just 1 month. You can leave your job. You can go to 6 figures right away. Okay, but also see where people have complained about being conned. Look, you're not going to do anything right away. You're not going to jump into some business that you're not familiar with and make money right away. If anybody tells you that, they're full of shit. I don't care what the business is, it takes a while. I don't care what it is. It takes work if you want to be successful. I know this from 2 major things that I've done. Like first, the publishing business. I started writing thinking about like writing as a career in 1993. I didn't start a publishing company until 1995. I didn't have a successful book until 2001. So that's a while. So that was a struggle. That wasn't like, oh, let me just write this book. I'm gonna be a New York Times bestseller right away. I had to put in the work. I shoot, and then doing what I'm doing now, let's be real, I make my main money. The base of it is on YouTube now. The base of it is doing videos, but then it extends out to my other income streams, but the base is YouTube. I didn't make any money at first. And then when I did start making money, it still took another maybe a year or so before I can make enough money to actually live on. And that's any YouTube content creator. Any content creator can tell you that. You don't start off with some instant thing. You got to do some work. And, I'm using those examples from my life, but it's regardless of what it is. You could open a corner store. It's going to take a while to get people to come in there on a regular basis. Or maybe you're providing a storefront with some services or something. It's going to take a while before you build up enough to really make money. In fact, when you look at some major businesses like Amazon is ubiquitous. They're all over the world. You see their trucks every place. You see their warehouses are so many places. Really powerful. But the first couple years, they didn't make any money. As big as they were back then, they still didn't make any money. It takes a while. You got to put in some work. Because one of the things is, okay, you have a business, you're selling a product. First of all, people have to like that product. It has to go out. And even if it's a product that everybody else is buying, you know how people jump in, they'll say, well, everybody buying this or that. You still got to make a niche for yourself. That's still going to take some time. Or a service. One thing about service, any type of service business, you're not going to hit it right away. First, you got to find some people who are going to take the service. You got to do a good job for them. Then they got to recommend you. And that could take a while to build up. Even if you have everything together, I would say the quickest you might can build up something is maybe a year. The quickest. And I'm saying if you jump into the right things and everything like that, a year, Yeah, I had to make sure my timer's on here because, I make money off these commercials. So anyway, right? It takes work. It takes time. You gotta think about it. I don't care what it is. I don't care how easy it might look to you from the outside. Any business person who said, well, you need to see what I had to do on the inside. Like I use myself for an example. Just being on YouTube. It took me a while. I'm using a 4K camera right now. It took me a while. I remember when I first started, I was using like the computer camera off of a desktop computer. And I didn't have music in the background, anything like that. Some of you might have followed me like when I first got started. And it's a big difference. The sounds, music in the background. Well, that took some work. And in fact, in the next one, I'm going to be talking more about some of the stuff outside the business that you're going to have to do. But if you want to be successful in business, first it's going to take some work. But even before you get there, you got to know what the business is in. You got to study. You got to have some expertise in it. You may have to get certified in something. You might have to be an apprentice somewhere. You're going to have to learn the business. Because one of the saddest things is, I've seen there's a lot of people, they'll have some money, they'll jump into a business they have no idea about. They have no idea, and they have no idea about the nuances. At best, they know the general stuff. At best, they know the business is making money for other people, but they don't know. And then, you know, it takes some work to maybe build up a customer base, either for your product or your service, especially your service, you know? And then your product, you got to think about it. Like, I'm going to tell you what, some of the major businesses, and I've seen some major businesses fail, maybe because they didn't do their homework. You need to see, okay, where am I setting this business up at? Where's the location? Like someone's famously said about McDonald's, it's like, no, they're not in the burger business, they're in the real estate business. It's about location. You gotta look at a bunch of little stuff. Like there was a Cajun place that I would go to back in the, it was a few years ago. You know, and from my background, you know, I like Cajun food and, you know, Creole type of food and everything. And I remember when they opened up and I say, oh, wow, okay. But then I kind of looked, and when I was going there, I was like, you know, unless somebody knows this is here, they could have some trouble. They didn't last a year. They didn't last a year. See, one of the things they should have thought about was their location. So that takes work. Like, you can't just jump into business. You know, you can't just jump into business. You got to have a mindset first. You got to know what business you're jumping in. You got to have the expertise, and then you got to build up some customers. And then with all of that, you still might not do what you want to do. It takes a lot. Shoot, you might have to reboot the business. It's so much. But whatever the case, it's not easy. If anybody try to act like it's easy and it's simple, oh yeah, just jump in and make money, they're full of it. And in all likelihood, they're conning you. Because usually, I'm going to tell you what, in a situation like that, they usually let you know how much money you need to pay. They're like, oh yeah, we can tell you how to get in this business, but the seminar costs $3,000. And then they get a bunch of people, they really made money off the seminar, charging people $3,000. And then when the people still don't make it, they can be like, well, you didn't do this, this, and this. And then they move on. And then, shoot, don't let me get started on some of those Ponzi schemes that, you know, they say, hey, you invest in this business, funding everything. Look, I don't care what it is, you need to know what you're doing. You need to look at a lot of stuff. I don't care what the business is. There's nothing so simple out there. I don't care what it is, it takes work. It takes work. And you gotta really look into that. You really got to understand that. You know, you can watch my videos, you can watch any videos. I don't care. In fact, I advise you watch, you know, many videos on business, but then also do the research. Research the business, you know. Research the business, see what it takes. But I don't care, every part of it still is going to take some work. Now, you want to get to the point where you're successful, but there's a lot of work behind that, all right? So understand that. Don't think, oh yeah, I'm just going to get this business and I'm going to start making money. Yeah, I wish it was that easy. I wish. You're going to have to work, okay? So anyway, that's all I have for now. Y'all know the deal. Let's go make that money.